Alright, so we're going to create some layer comps. Layer comps are a great way to actually have different states or view different states of our layers. If you have a bunch of layers, for example, and together those layers have a certain presentation, so if you change the visibility, the position, or the appearance via the styles, the layer styles that you can add, you can actually have all of the layers and those properties have a particular layer comp state. And what that does is it allows you to actually have different visibilities, different appearances that you can actually output to different files or just take a peek at within the Photoshop image itself, and then you can see different representations, possibly slight changes here and there in how the image looks, and then you can show quickly your clients, you can show them or you can output files very quickly, and this allows you to just be very, very speedy with your presentations. Instead of clicking things off and on, you can just click on your layer comps. So we'll just give a name here for each of these. We're going to start with we'll start with a default name for each of these depending on what the layer is. The first one's going to be the fixed shadow highlights, so we'll just call it fixed 1. We're going to just affect the visibility. Like I said, you can affect visibility, the position, if you move a layer, move objects on a particular layer, and also the appearance, layer styles. And we know about layer styles like drop shadow and things like that. So those would be the 3 choices. So we'll just add 4, and we'll call it grainy, blurry, and sharpened. So we have our 4. Now what you do with the layer comps is you just set things up how you want them on the layer. So we just want this one visible. We want the adjustment layer to be visible as well. Before we click on anything, we'll right click and update this first layer comp. And then the second one will make a change. Notice that this is switching to the last document state. That's normal, and I explain all the details of this in my Photoshop capabilities video training. Select any layer that you want here. After you set up that visibility, right click and update that layer. And then do the same thing for the third. Select over here, not the icon, and we'll update the layer. And then we'll do the fourth one. And then we'll update the layer comp. Now if you select here, you can see that the states change. The visibility of that layer changes. These are layer comps. So very quickly you can just navigate through them to see them. And this is going to change the representation. And it can be a lot more complex than this. You can place text in here. You can do all different types of things that you want to do to your images. And it has a very nice effect that you can quickly and easily see things. And then you can actually use the scripts here to actually create files from your layer comps. You can do to PDF, as I do in the training. And you can also just export the layers to files if you wanted to do that as well. So we'll just do layer comps to files. And you can pick a destination. We'll pick a done folder. You could pick selected layer comps if you wanted to, and then you can select or multi-select the layer comps here or just work with the one, but you can multi-select them as well, like multi-selecting anything. We won't select that. We'll do all of them. You can output to JPEG or PSD, TIFF even. We'll do TIFF first. You can include the profile. This is the profile for the file. I explain all about profiles in the training. For now, we'll just exclude that profile. We don't want to pass that along. We're going to use this for our needs, and we'll enable LZW compression. You can also use JPEG compression, and between 7 and 10 would be good for the defaults. We'll just use the LZW compression, and we'll run it. It creates a copy of this file with a different layer comps. You can see some work going on. It's going to be completed, and you can see we have our 4 images, all different, exported TIFF images, nice and neat, and the longer name extensions that you have there as well. For the next example, we'll do this to this particular folder as PSD images, and then we'll do a web gallery really quickly. So scripts, export layer comps to files. We'll do it as PSDs again. This time we'll browse for that particular folder. Prac1 done. And you can see that that's added up here. Then it's done for the extension PSD, and we'll maximize file compatibility, and we'll run that. A little bit of work again. And then we're done again. This time we can go to our folder, and everybody's there.